Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, I had a voice radio, so today we're going to be looking at, for the moment, the last of these exciting new cards to be released. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, new cards have been revealed from the upcoming Forbidden Light expansion, which we're going to be getting in as our May set, and we've done videos on most of them this past couple of days. This is the last one we've got for the time being, but it's a pretty good one, and to be honest, Pokemon are now, leaking these cards, so I think it's probably fair to assume that we're going to get more of these cards leaked over the next few weeks, and as always, every time that happens, I will be here with you, lovely ladies and gentlemen, showing you the card and giving you the information. So this one is Fossil Excavation Map. And it says, you may search either your deck or your discard pile for an unidentified fossil and put it into your hand. Now, unidentified fossil came out in Ultra Prism, and I suppose at this stage it's probably a good idea to remind ourselves what it does. You play it like a 60 HP colourless basic Pokemon. It does give up a prize if KO'd, and you can discard it at any time you like. Or you can evolve it, and there's two Pokemon into which you can evolve it, Bastiodon and Rampardos. Now, we'll have a look at both of those cards in a minute, give ourselves a reminder of what they do. But very quickly, if we have a look at unidentified fossil, we can in fact see that there are 4 types of fossil represented there. And although these cards have not been revealed, so to speak, we can clearly see that we are going to be getting a Cradily and we are going to be getting an Armaldo in the near future that will evolve, because there's Root and Claw fossils on there, which will evolve from this as well. So although at the moment we've only got 2 Pokemon that evolve from unidentified fossil, we are going to be getting more in the very near future. Given that this particular card we're talking about today, the, what are we calling it? Fossil Excavation Map is coming in Sun and Moon 6 Forbidden Light. I think it is exceedingly likely that first of all there will be a unidentified fossil reprint in Sun and Moon 6, but also I think that we're getting our Armaldo and Cradily in Sun and Moon 6 as well. As always, when they're revealed, we'll do a video, but I can't tell you much about them for the moment. So, what is the point then of Fossil Excavation Map? What is the point of this particular card which allows you to grab it from the deck or the discard pile? Well, as obvious as it seems, there are 2 extremely good uses for this card. Number 1, it gives you a little bit of extra consistency. Because you see, the thing is, your unidentified fossil is not a basic Pokemon. It is an item card. You can play it as if it were a 60 HP basic Pokemon, but it is not a basic Pokemon. So if turn 1 you play your Tapu Lele, you use Wonder Tag to grab yourselves a Bridget, you're not grabbing yourselves any unidentified fossil with that Bridget because you can't. You're not allowed, ladies and gentlemen. You need a way to search it out. You can't search it out with Bridget. You can't search it out with Ultra Ball. You need a way to search it out, because otherwise you're only playing 4 unidentified fossil in your deck, and I suppose you could play something like a Skyla to search it out, but really, realistically speaking, it's going to be awkward to get. So now you play 4 unidentified fossil, and you play it with 4 Fossil Excavation Map, and now instead of having 4 outs to getting that unidentified fossil, you've actually got 8 outs, and that's a good thing. But the other thing is, we have no way of getting unidentified fossil back from the discard. Now, I say no way, that's not strictly true. If you want to get super pedantic, you could use Gardevoir's GX attack here. You could use Decidueye's GX attack here, or you could use Puzzle of Time, because these can get anything back from the discard pile. But were this an actual basic Pokemon, you'd be able to use Rescue Stretcher, which is what most people would go for here. But it's not, as I keep saying, it's not a basic Pokemon. When it's in play, we treat it like a basic Pokemon. But when it's in a discard pile, it's an item card. When it's in your hand, it's an item card. And really, this card being revealed is Pokemon's way of saying, we get the unidentified fossil isn't a Pokemon card. And we get that your deck and your options are being limited by the fact that this isn't a basic Pokemon card. You can't search it out like you could a Pokemon. You can't recover it like you could a Pokemon. Please let us fix this. And that's what they're doing. It's still a little bit awkward though, if we're perfectly honest. Now, first of all, you can only use each of them once, so you might end up in the early game having to use Fossil Excavation Map to search out unidentified fossil, which then means in the mid to late game your recovery options are going to be limited. Or you may choose to save them for recovery, meaning that your search options in the early game are going to be limited. That's a little bit annoying. But taking all of that away, this is an absolutely vital card. For the two reasons I've just said. It's not a Pokemon, you can't search it out, and you can't recover it, not at least in the traditional ways. As we've said, there are options. We need ways to do that. Fossil Excavation Map, if you want to be playing this fossil deck, is absolutely great. Of course, outside of a fossil deck, it's literally useless. But in a fossil deck, it is absolutely vital. The real question then becomes, alright, are we going to be playing a fossil deck? Now, there's two fossil Pokemon at the moment. One of them I think the answer is yes, one of them I think the answer is no. But as I detailed at the beginning of the video, there are going to be more of these coming in the future. So Bastiodon comes around. The ability prevents all damage done to your metal Pokemon by attacks from any Pokemon that have special energy attached to it. It's the old Aegislash, but only for your metal Pokemon, but for all of your metal Pokemon, which is really quite cool. But when are you going to play that? Like, we got so many good metal Pokemon, we don't need that. I have done videos about both of these cards. I'll pop links in the description. Then we get to the attack push down, 2 metal, 1 colorless, 110. You make your opponent switch. Not a terrible attack, but just too gosh darned expensive. Now I suppose the good news here is you could use Magnezone to accelerate the energy, but it's a stage 2 Pokemon. And the rule is simple. If you've got multiple stage 2 Pokemon, one of them better have a draw engine. So, if you take the old Magnezone Prime Emboar deck, yeah, there were 2 stage 2s, but that was alright. Magnezone had a built-in draw engine. Bastiodon doesn't. Magnezone doesn't. You can't play them together. But the one I really do like is Rampardos. I like Rampardos. For 1 fighting energy, and let's not forget it's a fighting Pokemon, so you've got strong energy that does an extra 20 damage. You've got Regirock, which does an extra 10 damage, and by the time this Fossil Excavation Kit comes out, you're going to have Diancie Prism Star, one of in your deck, but when on the bench it allows you to do an extra 20 damage. This is all adding up pretty quickly. 1 fighting energy, 60 damage. But if it's an evolved Pokemon, you do an extra 60. That's 120. That means Zoroark is going down in a single hit. That's brilliant. It means that something like a Tapu Lele, if it's a strong energy and you've got a choice band, or even if it's a regular energy, but you've got a Diancie and a choice band, you're hitting 170 and it goes down. And if you've got a strong energy, choice band, Diancie, which is not outside the realms of possibility here, then all of a sudden you're hitting up to 190, then Buzzwole is going down. And that's pretty fantastic. And then you only need a couple of Regirock before something like Golisopod is going down. I'm a fan of Rampardos because it's a fighting Pokemon. It's hitting for a great weakness, and we've got a whole bunch of options to increase the amount of damage Rampardos is doing. I'm not a huge fan of Wild Crash. Good news, free fighting energy, instant KO on a basic. Bad news, free fighting energy. We got a lot of options to increase damage with fighting Pokemon. We don't have great options here for accelerating energy, so to speak. So, Rampardos here, love the first attack, and the second attack has potential. But if you want to play Rampardos at the moment, you're in an awkward situation. Because you've only got unidentified fossil, and like I've said, it's hard to search and it's hard to recover. So Fossil Excavation Kit is brilliant. Fossil excavation map, sorry. I've said kit a few times. I mean map. Autobot Tesla translated it. They're calling it fossil excavation map. I am inclined to believe them. They're usually pretty good with this. But at the end of the day, it's super simple. In any non-fossil deck, this is unplayable, pointless garbage. And in any fossil deck, it's really good. And a must-have. So I'm going to give it 3 Wossies. I don't know that any of these fossil Pokemon are going to be great, although Rampardos has a decent chance. And similarly, I don't even know what Cradily and Almado do. They might be terrible, but you know what? This is the kind of card we need. Even if it never gets any play, this is the kind of card we need for all the reasons I've outlined. But as always, ladies and gentlemen, I want to hear from you lovely people, so let me know in the comment section what you think about this. Go nuts! Be nice. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at The Wossie, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCG Radio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus pods and so on, you can do so by going to patreon.com/PTCG Radio. And please do check out my video game channel, Wossie Plays, for some video game related action. But by far the most important thing, as always, is to look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.